Hey girls, I'm going to take you through a recipe today which is a sweet potato omelette or cake, whichever way you want to refer to it. Essentially the ingredients are really basic. What we're going to work with is some sweet potato, some eggs. I definitely recommend getting organic eggs, some coconut. I'm using some coconut oil here, and before I forget, blueberries. So that's all you need. With the sweet potato, I recommend just doing this prep maybe once a week. The sweet potato will be fine to keep it in the fridge once it's mashed for up to a week. It might get a little bit dry after about the 4th or 5th day, but this recipe is not going to work if you're boiling and mashing sweet potato every single day. So all you need to do is separate your eggs. Now for me, what I like to do is I'm going to obviously keep my proteins and fats away from each other. So I'm actually only going to have one egg yolk in there. Any other time of the day, and if you're not sort of too worried about keeping your proteins and fats apart, not a big deal. Whoop, we've got two. But if you are looking at keeping those proteins and fats away from each other, the fats and carbs away from each other, this is a good meal to do that with. So basically what we're going to get is some good starchy carbs from the sweet potato. We're not going to have any issues with gluten in this meal, and the actual carb content of something like sweet potato is very little. So it's still a carbohydrate, but it's not as carb dense as other refined carbohydrate sources like a bread or a pasta or anything like that. So yeah. Once you've got your egg whites, so I've made a mountain here. For yourself, you can make this smaller, you can make it bigger. You can also make this as a larger dish and then divide it by two. So if you actually want to make, cook it once and use it for 2 or 3 days, do that as well. It keeps really well in the fridge. I'm going to actually just throw one more yolk in there because I'm feeling a little bit yolky today. There we go. So I've got 5 eggs in entirety, 2 with yolk, the rest are just egg whites. In here, the sweet potato is really up to you. I go by eye. As a general sort of rule, you might do 150 grams to 2 to 3 eggs. That's a good sort of benchmark. But once you've played this recipe once or twice, you'll just kind of know what works. So that's good. This is the boring part. So once you get a bit of momentum here, pretty much good to go. What's great about this dish is once you've actually got these things prepped up, the sweet potato, eggs obviously take no prep, it's really simple to bang together. If you are making it every single day, it's a kind of meal which you can knock up in sort of 15 minutes at night, put it in the fridge, and it's a perfect post-workout for you girls who are training in the morning. So this actually goes quite sweet, it's not too savoury at all. As far as the consistency, that's kind of what you're looking for. A little bit lumpy in the middle, that's fine. It's a little bit more rustic. So, whichever cookie you've got. Now the trick with this is making sure the oil is relatively hot to begin with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crank this bad boy up. Alright. Now usually I'm quite sort of coconut oil happy when I'm cooking dishes because I have a lot more fats and carbohydrates in my food. But for this meal, for the same reason I'm actually separating the egg whites and the egg yolks, I'm going to be a little bit more sparing with how much coconut oil I'm going to use. So 1 teaspoon is more than enough here. The thing with the yolks is, so that's quite hot already. The thing with the yolks is lots of the good nutrients and aminos are actually found in the yolks. So you shouldn't get too much of a habit of separating the yolks from the egg whites unless you are looking at actually keeping the fats away. Okay. So So the idea here is, I'm going to get one shot at this, is you want to put this into a hot pan so you actually get a sizzle effect at the start. So you're obviously looking for that telltale noise. I'm a bit of a guess with the oil here. You're putting it into a hot pan, and pretty quickly, within about sort of 20 seconds, we're going to reduce the heat right down, cover it. So getting a little bit of smoke, that's actually coming from the pan, not the coconut oil itself. Coconut oil is a great oil to be cooking with. Very, very stable. Give that one nice mix around. Cool, we're ready to roll. Alright. I won't tip all of it in until I've got a fair bit here. So I'm going to keep that temperature up for a little bit longer. I'm going to dump my blueberries in. So you can be as OCD as you like here. I'm actually quite OCD, so if I wasn't on camera right now, these would be strategically placed at perfect intervals away from each other. That looks good enough. So the idea then is going to pull that heat down a little bit and put the lid on. Now the way to judge this is it's a roughly 10-minute job. I'll set an alarm for maybe sort of 7 or 8 minutes, come have a look at it. And what you're looking for is the same sort of effect when you're cooking pancakes. Now hopefully you guys aren't eating too many pancakes, but if you can't remember back to when you're eating pancakes, what you're looking for is lots of air so it's gone quite fluffy. You know it's got a pretty stable base. So yeah, we'll just leave that now for maybe sort of 5 or 6 minutes, let that simmer away. We'll come back to it soon. Okay, so that's been about 8 or 9 minutes. And as you can see, we've got a lot of aeration here. It looks quite dry. Got no idea what it's going to look like on the bottom here. Now to flip this, I actually cut it into quarters to flip it. You're probably a lot more skilled than I am and might be able to do it differently. But for me, I'd break it up into more manageable pieces. Alright, so hopefully we're not charcoal on the bottom here. Bit of a gamble. Alright. That's about as close as you want to call it in terms of being burnt. I actually like it like that. Cool. Remove that demolish here. So we turn the lid back on. You're not exactly cooking at 50-50 on either side. It's more like 65-35. So that there only needs another couple of minutes to sort of finish it off. So leave that lid back on, give it a few minutes to finish off the underside, come back to it and finish it off. Okay, so we're going to check this. It's been a few more minutes now. Perfect. Alright, so that can come off. Now this is obviously a pretty big portion size, probably a little bit too big for you girls. So you might only want to have half of it. So that's done. I'm not going to win any awards here for presentation. That's good enough. To finish it off, put an extra couple of blueberries, a little bit of desiccated coconut, shredded coconut, and the trick is cinnamon. Make sure you get normal cinnamon, not cinnamon sugar. Cool. So what you got there is it's obviously a protein and carbohydrate meal. You avoided having gluten. Great source of starchy carbs. It's actually not mega carb dense. Very, very tasty. It keeps well in the fridge. You've got only a trace amount of fructose from those berries, good antioxidants. So yeah, it's a pretty safe meal to have either post-training or if you want to do more sort of carbohydrate meals. Very, very simple. You can knock this up in about 10-15 minutes. Cool, enjoy.